Cognitive reframing under fire. This is not a pep talk. This is a psychological detonation. What you're about to hear won't inspire you. It will reconstruct you. This isn't about motivation. This is about mental mutation. Because when chaos hits, and it will, you don't need another feel-good mantra. You need a new operating system. One that doesn't freeze. One that doesn't beg. One that doesn't shatter the moment pressure shows up. What I'm giving you is a system override. It doesn't make you better at handling emotions. It makes you immune to emotional collapse. It doesn't make you nicer. It makes you colder, sharper, calculated. And once this clicks, you don't go back. You don't return to normal. You become the storm you used to fear. So listen carefully or leave now. This is not entertainment. This is psychological warfare delivered in 3 phases. Phase 1, the hack that activates when you're about to break phase. 2, the price of invincibility. No one warns you about phase 3, how to carry power without becoming the monster you escaped. You're still here. Good? Let's begin. There's a split second before the mind snaps, before everything inside you screams, I can't take this. That moment is where the transformation happens or the breakdown begins. Most people shatter. A few evolve. This is for the few. It's called cognitive reframing under fire. It's not therapy. It's a weapon. It's not positive thinking. It's perception alchemy, turning chaos into clarity while still inside the fire. Here's the difference. Most people get hit by pain and absorb it. They drown in it, become it. They let pain name them, shape them, break them. But those trained in reframing, they convert pain into command. Not, why is this happening to me? But, what part of me is being reforged? Not, this broke me, but this revealed me. Your brain doesn't react to reality. It reacts to your interpretation of it. Change the story gives change the outcome. Reframe the experience gives, and the pain becomes purpose. This is not emotional suppression. This is emotional weaponization. You're not numbing the wound. You're giving it a mission. This is where strength becomes inhuman. You stop spiraling. You stop begging for calm. You stop pleading with life to be gentle. And you start forging yourself in the blast. At this level, nothing can control you, because the battle is no longer outside you. It's only inside your response, and your response is now calculated, not reactive. Let's train that response. Phase 1. Drill 1. Pre-programmed resiliency are not reacting to life. You're rehearsing for it. Your nervous system doesn't know the difference between reality and imagination. So what do? We simulate chaos while calm. We preload pain into our mental OS. That way, when reality strikes, we've already lived it once. Choose your emotional kryptonite. Public humiliation. Betrayal by someone you trusted. Rejection from someone you respected. Now, visualize your strongest version. Facing it. What do they say? How do they breathe? What do they suppress? What do they override? You're not imagining survival. You're coding dominance. Drill 2. Tactical delay. Mastering the emotional pause. Pain hits. You freeze. You say nothing. Not because you're afraid, but because you're scanning. You've chosen delayed domination over instant reaction. You've stopped letting your limbic system control the outcome. The goal? Create distance between stimulus and response. In that space, you win 3 times a day. Someone interrupts you. Someone disrespects you. Someone disappoints you. In those moments, no flinch. No reply. No expression. Just silence. And then later, hours later, you respond cold, surgical, and composed. You just became invisible emotionally, but dominant psychologically, and people will feel it. Drill 3. Repetition as programming. These aren't affirmations. These are commands. You don't say them to feel better. You say them to rewrite your system under fire. When you're exhausted, anxious, disrespected, repeat your code. Examples. No emotion controls me. Pain sharpens me. I'm not reacting. I'm rewriting. Eventually, these phrases become triggers for control, not panic. Not collapse.execution.com. A drill, 424-hour rule. Tactical delay of action impulse is emotional sabotage. Every time you want to react, quit, scream, or self-sabotage. Wait. Do not act. Document. Let your emotions burn off. Let chemistry settle. Let logic return. Then if you still want to act. But now you're acting from command. Not chaos. Drill 5. Emotional fasting. Big. The emotion that rules you. Guilt, insecurity, anger, validation craving. Starve it. For 7 days. No expression. No indulgence. No justification. When it rises, observe, deny, dissect. You'll realize it was never part of your strength. It was feeding on your strength. And now it dies. You either own it or it owns you. Phase 2. The price of unbeaten power. You've built the frame. You've trained the reflex. You've become immune to pain, rejection, chaos. But now comes the cost. Because the first casualty of extreme resilience isn't weakness. It's memory. The stronger you become, the easier it is to forget. Forget how much it used to hurt. Forget what it cost you to survive. Forget what it meant to feel fragile and still keep going. And when you forget long enough, you stop understanding. You stop relating. You look at others breaking and think, why can't they just get up? But you've forgotten what it felt like to crawl. This is the danger. You become the very storm that once broke you. But now it's wearing your face. It speaks your voice. And it calls itself growth. You see, when you never show weakness, people stop offering you truth. They stop challenging you. They start obeying you. They begin projecting their fear onto you, not connection. And at first, that feels good. No resistance. No feedback. No one questioning your decisions. You feel untouchable. But slowly you lose the mirror. No one holds it up anymore. No one tells you what you need to hear. Only what they think you want to hear. And without the mirror, you don't become wise. You become unreachable. The harder you become, the more you start protecting yourself. Not just from pain, but from people. You stop letting anyone in. You stop letting anyone matter. You become the strong one always. But strength with no cracks? That's not a fortress. That's a wall. And walls don't just keep danger out. They keep everything out. Then one day, you'll notice something strange. Conversations feel surface level. Intimacy feels inefficient. Vulnerability feels like a threat to your identity. You look around and realize you're alone, not because no one's there, but because you stopped letting anyone close, not because you're cold, but because coldness became your armor, and you forgot how to take it off. Because the final war? It's not external. It's not the chaos. It's not the betrayal. It's not the failure. It's internal. It's the war against your own power. When you've trained your mind to be unshakable. When you've stopped reacting, when you've silenced your needs, you reach a terrifying place. Nothing breaks you, but nothing moves you either. You've built walls so high, even your own soul can't scream loud enough for you to hear it. That's where this phase begins, because real power isn't surviving pain. It's surviving yourself after you've outgrown pain. And here's the trap. You became strong to escape manipulation. Now you're the one manipulating. With silence. You became stoic to avoid chaos. Now you use that stoicism to dominate rooms. You became disciplined to stop hurting. Now you're passing that pain on to others who haven't earned their scars. It's subtle. It's surgical. Silent tyranny. You don't scream at people. You out-control them. You don't attack. You withdraw until they break, and it all feels justified because you've earned your edge. But here's the question. Are you using it to build or to bend? Code CHECK. You need a compass now. A code written in clarity so you don't betray. It in chaos. These are your rules. Your leash on the monster. Write them. Write them when you're calm so they control you when you're not. Examples. I don't punish others for pain they didn't cause. I never speak to control, only to reveal. I don't fake emotions to manipulate connection. If I lose empathy, I lose the game. These laws aren't for weakness. They're for warriors who want to win without erasing their humanity. Without it, strength becomes addiction. And power addiction never ends clean. Phase 3. The return of people inside the unbeaten. You've weaponized your mind. You've overridden your instincts. You've built reflexes sharper than fear. But there's one thing left. And it might be the most important part of all. Presence. Not presence as in being around, but presence as in being real. Awake. Here. It's the last thing to die when someone goes cold. And the first thing to go. When strength becomes armor. You see presence is the pulse beneath the machine. It's the memory of who you were before the silence, before the walls, before the edge. Without it, you become the armor itself. Here's the truth most warriors ignore. Emotion is not your enemy. Unfiltered obedience to emotion is pain is not the problem. Worshipping pain is. Emotions carry information. When you suppress them completely, you lose the signal. You lose the lesson. And that silence? It's not clarity. It's emptiness. So what now? Now you learn to feel without flinching. Let sadness whisper. Let fear knock. Let anger rise. But never hand them the wheel. You hear them. You translate them. But you don't obey them. Because now, you are the operator. You are the translator. You are the sovereign mind. This is what separates the cold from the wise, the ghost from the master, the tyrant from the king. But there's one more thing you must protect. A return point. The place you go, not to win, not to dominate, not to sharpen. Your blade. To lay it down. A space that reminds you you're still in there, beneath the edge, behind the silence, beyond the performance. This could be a partner who sees you, not just respects you. A journal where your chaos bleeds in words. A meditation where your mask falls off. A memory of your younger self, whispering, don't lose. Me in this, that space, is sacred. It's not weakness. It's what keeps your strength from becoming cruelty. It's what keeps your edge from turning into a weapon against the innocent. Because here's the most subtle trap of all. You become strong to escape pain, then become the source of it for others. You become silent to protect yourself, then use that silence to punish. You become powerful to never be manipulated again, then manipulate without even realizing it. And one day, you wake up, and the person you had to survive is you. So ask yourself, why am I saying this? Who am I trying to control right now? Am I creating clarity or compliance? Because when no one can stop you, you must stop yourself. When everything is justifiable, you need something stronger than ego to answer to. That's where your code returns. The law you wrote when your mind was calm. Read it again. Tattoo it mentally. Live by it. Not because you have to, but because you choose to. That's discipline inside freedom. That's mastery inside power. Don't walk this path alone, no matter how sharp you get. no matter how cold, calculated, respected you become. There will always be a part of you that longs to be seen, dot, and if you ignore it too long, it becomes a silent screen, dot. So seek out the rare ones, the ones who don't fear your silence, who don't shrink under your gaze, who challenge your logic without trying to fix you, who see your power and still meet your eyes as equals. They don't need you to soften, but they won't let you disappear either. That's where your center is rebuilt, not in applause, not in domination, but in raw, real recognition. You can lead. You can conquer. Rooms. You can rewrite your entire identity. But don't lose presence, dot. It's not emotion. It's awareness, dot. It's the thread that ties you back to the version of you that once cried and kept going, at once doubted and still moved forward, that once wanted to give up and didn't. Keep it alive, or everything you've built becomes just another mask. Final message. You've built the strength. Now build the discipline to carry it like a weapon, not wear it like a mask. Stay sharp. Stay surgical. Stay dangerous, but never stop being human. On purpose, dot, because real power isn't just staying cold in chaos. It's staying warm by choice and still being untouchable. That's not just strength. That's not just dominance. That's mastery. That's you.